Hey guys, John from the John Muir Show here, and there's been no shortage of injustices when it comes to Robert Mueller's special counsel investigation. That's the one that we've long been told is looking into alleged collusion between Donald J. Trump and the Russians leading up to the 2016 presidential election. Look, it's been going on for nearly 2 years. There is still not a single shred of evidence that there was collusion between Trump and the Russians, but that hasn't stopped Bob Mueller and his fellow Trump-hating buddies from carrying on with this whole thing. It still carries on, even though it has cost the American taxpayer north of $25 million. That was as of last September. The cost continues to arise each day that passes. But there's been a lot of injustices that have come from this Mueller investigation, and really the injustices came from the start, because there was no legitimate reason to have started the special counsel investigation in the first place. If you listen to all of the folks that were at the highest levels of our intelligence agencies back at the time when this investigation was launched, you would realize that they did not believe that there was actually any sort of wrongdoing on the part of Donald Trump that had taken place. But they didn't care. They started investigating Trump with a special counsel anyway. And what's remarkable about this entire thing is that Trump was actually the victim here. They're talking about alleged collusion. We have proof that the individual who was running against Donald Trump in the 2016 presidential election, the Democrats' nominee, Hillary Rodham Clinton, that she actually did collude with foreign sources leading up to that election. That she and her campaign paid for a phony anti-Trump dossier that was written by a British national that was citing a Russian national as one of its sources. She paid for that so that she could use it to affect the outcome of that election. It ended up being used to abuse the nation's FISA courts to illegally spy on Trump's campaign. So, I mean, Donald Trump is actually the victim in this whole circumstance, but he's not being treated like the victim. No, you have a bunch of powerful liberals like Robert Mueller who have successfully made Trump out to be the bad guy here. He's the victim, but they're acting like he's some sort of a criminal instead. And as a result of this, whole, oh yeah, maybe Trump colluded with the Russians thing that they keep pushing on us, they've gotten to a point where they have successfully been able to completely trample on Donald Trump's right to privacy, as well as the right to privacy for so many individuals who have been associated with Donald Trump, whether it be in the infancy of his presidential administration, before that, when the campaign was still going on. There are so many people whose lives they have been able to tear apart all over this phony narrative that Trump might have colluded with the Russians. And a couple of those individuals are President Trump's former campaign manager, Paul Manafort, and also a former campaign advisor of President Trump's, Roger Stone. See, with Manafort and Stone, it is just appalling what Mueller and his team of fellow Trump-hating partisan liberal hacks, what they have done to these people. In the case of Manafort, it was just announced on Friday that Bob Mueller was recommending that Paul Manafort be sentenced to 24 years in prison and pay up to $24 million in fines. That is a lot of time behind bars. That is a lot of money to come out of someone's bank account. What is it that Paul Manafort has done that's so bad? You're probably asking yourself, what? Did he find proof that Manafort was helping Trump collude with the Russians? No, not at all. That's not at all the case. What it is with Paul Manafort is they convicted him of having some shady business dealings, some shady personal business dealings in Ukraine, long before he was ever associated with Donald Trump's political campaign. And there were some other white-collar crimes involved as well. And you look at this, and these are the sorts of things that so many powerful liberals in this country have gotten off scot-free for doing. I want to talk about lobbying violations internationally. Clinton friend Tony Podesta was guilty of the same exact thing. He hasn't even gotten a slap on the wrist for what it is that he's done, but here Paul Manafort's life is getting ruined all because of it. And this is all stemming from Mueller's investigation. And when you look at Roger Stone, Roger Stone's facing a handful of charges that are like lying to Congress and witness tampering and obstruction of justice. These are the things Roger Stone's been charged with. Look, you have plenty of powerful liberals who have done these things too. If lying to Congress is so bad, then how come a couple of the top guys in the Obama intelligence agencies, John Brennan and Jim Clapper, how come they've been able to get away with lying to Congress and they didn't even get their wrists slapped? It's just so appalling, the double standard that has become present in the United States of America's justice system. If you're a powerful liberal, you can get away with murder. Oh, but if you're a known conservative, if you do something far less serious, oh, no, we're going to throw the book at you. We're going to ruin your entire life. That has been the case with people like Manafort and Stone. And what's even more shameful about the whole Roger Stone case is now you just had a judge late on Friday saying that there's a gag order that's been placed on Roger Stone. So now the man can't even go out there and defend himself against all these charges made against him. It is so dangerous what is happening right now. Look, I don't care how you feel politically. I don't care how you vote on Election Day. You as an American citizen should be appalled by what is happening in this Mueller investigation, because this is setting a precedent saying that we could have some unelected rogue prosecutor get appointed as a special counsel, and they could just go on and trying to destroy the lives of all of their political enemies for merely political purposes. That is what Bob Mueller, Andrew Weissman, and the entire Mueller team are doing to people who've been associated with Donald Trump. And even for people who think this is somehow a good thing because they don't like Donald Trump and they like seeing people who are associated with this campaign being taken down, you should ask yourself, how would I feel if this happened to my politician next? How would I feel if this happened to me or one of my loved ones next? Because right now we're in a position where someone who, again, is unelected, we had no say in this person getting the position of power. We cannot remove this person from the position of power if we do not like the job he's doing. Right now, that unelected guy, Bob Mueller, is the most powerful individual in the United States of America in all reality. That should terrify each and every one of us. I don't care if you're Democrat, Independent, or Republican. That's all the time that we have for today, but tune into the John Muir Show each and every weekday, 8:40 a.m. WTAQ, 9 a.m. WSAU and WHBL. Till next time, I'm out.